to Great Greys, your one-stop shop to finding winners across Australia from the world of greyhound racing. Host David Shortte is joined by Harry Buchanan from the Greyhound Insider, Jaycin Campbell to look at Queensland and Tasmanian chasing, Hall of Famer Neil Brown, Sean Matheson looking at South Australian chasing, New South Wales expert Simon Orchard, and the Shane Train Williams rounds it out with his key plays and kennel mail in WA. Now, over to the team for this week's edition of Great Greys.
Good morning and welcome along to Great Greys on this Thursday, the 14th of March 2024. David Shortte with you. It's 5 minutes past 10. Let's rip straight into it. Our man Harry Buchanan about to join us to have a look at Perth Cup and Galaxy Night out there at Cannington on Saturday, as well as finding us a few winners tonight at Mandurah, as well as Sandown to build a bank for the big weekend of chasing upcoming. Welcome to you, Harry Buchanan. How do we find you on this Thursday?
Yes, good morning, Shorty. Good morning, listeners. You find me very well. It's been a big 2 weeks. All culminates this Saturday night, of course, with the Perth Cup and Galaxy final. Cannot wait, mate, and we've got a stack to get into.
We certainly have. Let's go straight to the two features on Saturday night out there at headquarters, and kicking things off with the feature, the Group 1 Sky Racing Perth Cup final. I'll talk you through the tab touch market. The fastest qualifier comes up with box number 1. It's been easy to back since this market opened up. Trooper Tears 215 to 240, Transponder 850 to 9, Sneaky Emoji 14 and firm, Buddy Manelli $9.50 out to $14, Mapunga Smoky $7.50 in a touch to $7. There's been good support for Sunset Frazier, the logical leader in this race, $4.80 into $4.20. Mapunga Shine has seen some support, 12 into $9.50. Uncle Tommy 20 into $19. The first reserve Ghost Emoji at $12. Second reserve Sunset Serengeti a $14 chance. First four carryover on this race of $15,000. It promises to be an absolute beauty. A very interesting affair, Harry. It's fair to say most of these runners have drawn inside out, and you can see it being very, very competitive going into that first corner.
There are 108 different maps that could unfold in the run of the first turn here because of that very reason, Shorty. Trooper Tears, Transponder, they've drawn 1 and 2. They needed 7 and 8. And, of course, out wide, Uncle Tommy and Sunset Fraser, 6 and 8. They needed probably 1 and 2. So it just really does get very, very messy behind the leader. They won't lead him, Sunset Fraser. He's the first split record holder and the second split record holder. And he has that dazzling acceleration of the first turn. He just drops good dogs. The last part of his race does test him, though, and that's the part we've got to work out, Shorty. Who's going to be knocking on the door up the back there once he starts to run out of petrol? And, oh, goodness me, I've done it about 17 different ways, and it could, go a number of ways to once he does cross. Trooper Tears, he takes that right-hander at the start, and I've watched his replays closely. That wasn't a one-off last week. The dog does want to get to the middle to wide on the track. And more so, when he does get crossed by another dog, he very quickly wants to get over heels and get very wide. So Sunset Frazier is going to cross him here. Transponder, similar profile. He also wants to get wide. I kept coming back to the 3-dog Shorty, Sneaky Emoji, mainly because he's 5'6". He's going to keep him out of the early battle, and he goes and drops on the fence here and gets that inevitable first turn run, and at the each way value, double figures with tab touch at the moment. He's a bet, and I'm going to put him on top. I just think he hits the frame. I think if he is the first dog to go out after Sunset Fraser, he will get him. His run was superb last week, and I love what he did in the run to the first turn when he was almost put out of business. Buddy Manelli, big threat in box 4. I was surprised to hear that drift then. He went from 2 weeks ago looking like no threat at all to being a major threat, and he can figure in the final, and Sunset Frazier in front's a place to be, and that's where he will be, and I do think he can hold on for a place. Mapunga Smoky, Mapunga Shine. Look, Mapunga Smoky would have been in calculations had he not had Sunset Fraser outside him. Mapunga Shine would have had he not had Uncle Tommy outside him. So there's so many different scenarios here, Shorty, but I just think the dog in box 3 here, if he lets those two inside him, clear him, he drops to the fence, and then we just wait, and hopefully we get the run, but several chances could go a number of ways.
Indeed. It's going to be a cracking Group 1 feature, though. Can't wait for it. And the other of the Group 1s on the program is, for the stayers, the Sky Racing Galaxy final over the 715 metres in box draw order. Flashing Cooner off the red, 26 to 31. Miss Ronnie Mack, 11 to 12. Jelly Manelli, 17 into 15. Chloe Ant, 460. Out of touch from the opening quota, 440. Zipping Neutron, 650 to 7. West on Booney, 350 into 320. Savick, 310 into $3. Argyle Queen, 11 out to 12. The first reserve Couch Surfer, 4 to 420. And the second reserve Sunset Louis, $7 and firm. Really another very interesting contest. Chloe Ant was the fastest qualifier last week, dropping a 41.71. It was a stunning performance. Needs to get it right from box number 4. I thought West on Booney, debut run over the distance was outstanding, running 41.84. Savick didn't have a lot of luck in the run, but was very strong late. We saw with that 41.96 performance the week prior that this dog has got one of the better finishing bursts of any of the dogs in this field. How do you see the Group 1 Galaxy final panning out, Harry?
Yeah, I think it's the dogs that can't win, the ones that are going to decide who does win this. And I speak of 1, 2 and 8. Argyle Queen out in 8, Miss Ronnie Mack in 2, Flashing Cooner in 1. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're the only chances here. Jelly Manelli, she went 41.93 in defeat last week. She did run past Couch Surfer in the run home to run second, and you can say that he's probably not going that well, and that's all good and well, but she went 41.93. To put a line into that, that's 41.96 against Savick's best. I mean, she shouldn't be double figures. And with the 1 and the 2 stepping here and going forward, I just think she gets the track up. And I thought she creeped her way around a couple of the corners as well. I think she's going to improve immensely on that heat run last week. She can stay, this dog. She's probably not quite up to her famous mother in Flake Manelli. I wish she was. She'd be probably about $1.50. But in saying that, she does have some of her talent, and I think she can surprise here. Chloe Ant, quickest qualifier off box 1. Much harder task off box 4 here with the speed. Savick, if he gets a clear run, look out. He'll drop on these. He's the one to beat. And West on Booney, if he nails the start, and I do think he does have to really nail it and get there early this time. As impressive as he was, I think he's tasked with a lot harder this week. Just got a feeling he might be doing too much work. I'm not discounting Zipping Neutron. I think the 3 is a great each-way show, though, Shorty, in Jelly Manelli.
All right, some good value in the 2 features out there at Cannington on Saturday night from Harry Buchanan. First race from Wyong's only 3 minutes away. Punters will take it live here on TAB Radio. Hellbent on You is our odds-on favourite, $1.75. Opened at $1.80. The impeccable $8.50 into $4, very well commissioned. Scorpion Jack, 11 into $9.50. Proceed, 13 to 11. Paris Manhattan, 34 into 12, has been a good go as well. Oakfield Pee-wee, 12 to 14. Excella, 17 to 20. And Warrior Princess, 41 out to $51. Race number 1 of the day there at Wyong, 2 minutes 30 away. Let's get down to the business of trying to build a bank heading into the weekend. Mandra tonight, who are you liking for the punters there?
Yeah, there's a couple there I think can go okay. The first dog I do like has had 7 starts for nothing and nothing at the track, so that initially would turn you off. But race 4, number 6, Ohana Casbolt, I just think he's been probably racing better dogs over an unsuitable distance here. This is more of his go, and the last time he did run over the 400 metres, he had no luck and made really good ground behind Litchfield. It's probably as low as it gets for him. He has to do something here. I think he can. If he doesn't, I'm not sure he will pick up a race. But this will be his chance tonight, Ohana Casbolt in race 4. So we'll team up with him. Already been well supported on the open. Race 5, number 2, Tick, Tick, Tick. He's got a lot of ticks in this race. I'll give you the tip there. He gets a very good draw behind Kenya Tilly, Ace Clemmer, either side of him. They'll clear him. He'll just drop onto the fence. We know he drops that big last section over this trip. He's had a couple of 488s, and whilst he's gone well, I still think he's a better dog over this 400-metre trip. So look for him to land close, finish off strong. He'll be very hard to hold out. Race 7, number 3, Timmy Time Bomb. He's got Watch Me outside him, and that's the first thing that's in his favour. He's got early speed, so if he can just go with her and rail up underneath, he's going to hit the line well. Went 16.92, 3 starts ago. That gets the job done here. Watch Me, hard to stop, but just courtesy of the box draw, I think he can get the job done with a good getaway. Then down to race 9, number 1, Princess May, former New South Wales dog. She was very, very good prior to coming over to Western Australia. She's had no luck with box draws. She's got a very good record of inside boxes. She gets it here. Right track, right trip here, and she's going to be hard to stop. We'll see the best of her. She's hit the frame 19 times out of 36 starts. I think she can go all the way, and she has been absolutely caved in. 850 into 370 in the last 20 minutes since the Open. So they're getting around her in box 1, Shorty. Race 4, number 6, race 5, number 2, race 7, number 3, race 9, number 1 at Mandurah this evening.
Beautiful. They're starting to move into the barriers for race number 1 here at Wyong. We'll at least make a start on your thoughts for Sandown tonight. Tremendous program this, Harry.
No, it's a really good program, Shorty. The launching pad highlights it tonight. 6, 7 heats there, and we're going to kick it off in race 2. Look, Mapunga Reward, for all intents and purposes, should win here. He's got his box out there in box 8. He's got a big engine. He's 3 from 3 at the track. He's going to be awfully hard to stop, and he's just been racing the elite company. But we cannot discount our old mate, Ethanol Volume. 950, I think, is very disrespectful. He put in a monster performance last week here at Sandown. He probably does get back a little bit. Well, he does get back. He doesn't run the time, but look, if there's any trouble, he'll get wide. He will run home hard. You can back them both, back the 8, something each one on the 5. They'll give us a tremendous sight there in race number 2.
Hey, I might just put you on pause for a moment there, mate. They're moving in pretty well here for the first at Wyong. We'll take the call, and when we return, the remainder of Harry's thoughts for Sandown tonight.
A little bit.
It's 18 minutes after 10. We're chatting with Harry Buchanan, getting his thoughts for Thursday night chasing. He's given us a couple to kick things off there at Sandown. Race 2, number 5, Ethanol Volume, and number 8, Mapunga Award, the 2 key plays there in race number 2. We then move down to another of our favourites in race number 5. Harry?
Absolutely, Shorty. Hoping the Droopy Sydney theme continues tonight, and it's number 6, Ethanol Water. I'm surprised the dog's 350, to be quite frank with you. She can handle box 6, 4 starts for 1 and 2, and she's coming off a double win at Sandown in 29.28, 29.53. She's outstanding in a field. She just knows the runs to take, where to put herself. She's got a big last section on her. She has been beginning okay. Did miss it last week, but in a general sense, she does step okay. So I think she can dispatch this field with any sort of first turn luck, and I don't think her map's that bad there. So she's one of our better plays there tonight, Ethanol Water. Go down to race 7 here, Shorty. The dog out wide here, Kenya All Class, he's very, very good, and he's been running some very good time. Just not sure about his draw here with what's around him. I'm going to go with the 1 here, Peaky Boo. Good mate of mine, Benny Rawlings, heading over from South Australia. Of course, he won his ticket through that Angle Park runoff. He trialled 5:22, 29.50 at Sandown in his first look there the other day. He'll improve on that, especially the 5:22. He's 2 from 2 from box 1, and Benny reckons he can get him down to around 29.30. If he gets on the arm, this former WA dog might just sneak away with his feet to the launching pad here. He's well supported around that $3.20 mark. And I think he's going to give us a tremendous sight, especially if the 7 doesn't get across or get any early luck. We'll finish it off, Shorty, with race 8, number 6. Another one of these dogs that we've been following lately in Bum Storm. And this is the one I've got the most time for. She's outstanding, this Droopy Sydney Gypsy Bun bitch. Coming off a couple of Meadows runs, she's 1 from 1 at Sandown. She went 29.65, but the way she won that was just incredible. She's got so much upside, this dog. 11 starts, 5 wins, 6 placings. That tells you how good she is. And the box won't matter to her. She just knows where to go. Very good in her field, very strong, hard to stop, and you're getting a great each-way price about her. Race 2, number 8, little saver each one on the 5. Race 2, number 6. Race 5, number 6, pardon me. Race 7, number 1, and finish it off, race 8, number 6, the each-way special at Sandown this evening.
Beautifully done, Harry. Yeah, the other thing that really does stand out with those Droopy Cities, they're such hard chasers, which is a wonderful trait to have. We've been most impressed over the last few months with a number of that particular breed. We also, of course, have got lots going on content-wise over the next little bit. Harry, you'll have the runner by runner on the Tab Touch blog for those big feature finals. That'll be up this afternoon. Weekend Word tomorrow. We've got Chasing Winners tomorrow. We've got the Mail Collection tomorrow afternoon. And then, of course, on Saturday night between 6 and 10 o'clock right here on TAB Radio, that live broadcast, 4 straight hours of coverage. It's going to be absolutely magnificent out there on a Saturday night, a chance to showcase our biggest night of the year from the world of greyhound racing. Lots there for the punters to get their teeth into, Harry.
Yeah, absolutely. There's plenty happening, as you said. The runner by runner, the Savo, and all the shows tomorrow, the weekend word in the morning, chasing winners, and then the mail collection. And then you guys will do a great job there on Saturday night. 4 hours wall-to-wall coverage for the dogs, and get all the interviews and the last-minute word off the trainers, and you'll have to tune in there and you can see how your dog's just about to fare in the opinion of the trainer. Looking forward to that, Shorty. It's going to be a great night and tremendous racing. Looking forward to it.
Can't wait for it. Good on you, Harry. Appreciate your time as always here on Great Greys. We'll catch you tomorrow afternoon for the mail collection.
Thank you, Shorty.
There we have it, Harry Buchanan. Then not far away from the first here of the day at Bow Desert, Matty.
And note the Races WA have announced that the Dongra Club have advised their meeting scheduled for Easter Saturday won't proceed due to concerns with the track's surface, and there won't be a replacement meeting with meetings at Geraldton in the area too. While
this is your home of the Greyhound Good Oil, Great Greys.
Well, it's now 24 minutes after 10. Time to catch up with Jaycin Campbell, find some winners up there at Albion Park and down there in Tassie tonight at Hobart. Welcome to you, JC. How do we find you today?
Yeah, going great, Shorty. How are you, mate?
Very well indeed, thank you. Very excited over here, of course, with our 2 Group 1s of the year on the menu on Saturday night out there at Cannington. But before that, there's plenty of good chasing tonight at Albion Park as well as down there in Hobart. Who do you like to help find a winner and build a bank for the weekend?
Yeah, exciting night of chasing at Albion Park. We get to see the return of Jay, who was unfortunately crippled of that Group 1 Gold Bullion when he had to pull out on the eve due to injury. So 8 race on the night. Got to head to race 3 for the first bet of the night for me, Shorty. Number 5, More Pizzas. Admittedly, this bitch had lost a bit of form since returning from a large injury layoff. However, I thought she returned to form last start at Rockhampton. She runs second to a dog by the name of Black Wizard. He was first up in central Queensland, and he signed up from Wentworth Park around the likes of Go Bears, who was the recent Richmond Derby winner. So I think More Peaches here. She's boxed particularly well in the 5 with the 4 Awesome Appetite looking for the rails, and Hopeful Nan outside will look to just hold her line. So I think More Peaches is a great each-way bet to kick off the night.
All right, race 3, number 5, More Peaches on an each-way basis. So the next of your plays?
Yeah, best of the night for me, Shorty. Race 4, number 3, Cindy. She's looking for the hat-trick this bitch. She's absolutely flying of the minute. She showed her versatility in her last 2 wins. 2 starts ago, she flew the lid and was able to run 29.72, which was the fastest of the night and better than the free-for-all on that night. Last start, she did miss the kick, but she got through the field and got up late in Albert's memory in 30.07. I think she's boxed well here again. Boxes 1 and 2 are noted slow beginners. I think she'll cross them early. Expect Wes Johnson, the pink, to zoom straight across. I think she'll get his backside heading out of that first turn and prove the stronger of the 2 late in the piece.
All righty, so race 4, number 3, Cindy with a bit of confidence and deeper into the card.
Race 10, number 5, Agent Spaghetti. He lines up for his first start in Queensland for legendary trainer John Dart. He's boxed particularly well here in the 5 once again. The 4, Katanga Tex, he wants to go to the rails, whereas Bogey Dominator looks like he wants to use the track. So I think the 5 will get the room required early, and he should be very hard to beat. He brings nice form from New South Wales, particularly over that middle distance, and it's just a matter of if he gets that clear room early, and I think he will get that here, and he should be too strong late in the piece.
All righty, so 3-5, 4-3, 10-5 tonight at Albion Park. What about down there at Hobart this evening?
2 bets for me. The first, race 3, number 4, Time Passages. This bitch is yet to win 8 starts, however, I think she gets her best chance to date. 2 starts ago, she ran a personal best, 26.09 over this track and trip, and she's since trialled 29.77 at Launceston over 515 metres. Box 4, again, another squeeze box I'm going for here, but there's no reason why she can't race well here. The 3 does have good wheels early. I think it can pressure the favourite, Fierce and Flirt, and she's got an outside box vacant. So I don't think there's any reason why she can't posse up second or third and prove the strongest dog late in the piece.
And the second of the plays tonight at Hobart?
Race 6, number 1, Princess Cruiser. She's been subject to good market support already early in the piece. Numerically, her form does not look great. However, she gets back to the 3-4 at Hobart. She draws box 1, which is a 4 starts for 2 wins and a placing. I think she's very well boxed here. Dogs outside her, Crange and Windburn Tiger, do want to use a bit of the track, as does the 7B the best. So I think she can scoot through on that rail, Shorty, and it's very hard to run down.
Like it. So we've got tonight there at Hobart, race 3, number 4, race 6, number 1 for the punters to get around. JC, appreciate your time here on Great Greys on this Thursday morning. Good luck with all of those tips as well as your kennel runners over the weekend. We'll catch up with you again this time next week.
No worries, Shorty. Thank you.
There we have it. Jaycin Campbell with us here on a Great Greys, where it's now 28 minutes after 10 o'clock.
You are tuned into Shorty and the team on Great Greys.
Absolutely superb night of chasing this evening there at Sandown, in the absence of the Hall of Famer Neil Brown, who is, of course, on the high seas, having a wonderful cruise and, by all reports, having a wonderful time of it. We bring in the young gun, Ethan Christian, to roll up the sleeves and help us find a winner on this 12-race program tonight. The launching pad, some of Australia's best chasers strutting their stuff in those 7 heats throughout the course, 8 heats, throughout the course of the night. Rest of the card is very good. Ethan now joins us on the program. Welcome, Ethan.
And hello to you as well, Shorty. Yeah, terrific card of chasing tonight with the launching pad, 8 heats. It's fast becoming one of my favourite series out at Sandown Park, where we've got some of the nation's best young chasers all out to prove themselves as the next big thing in the sport.
Most certainly, and there's been a number of these winners in recent years that have gone on to do some very nice things. Let's get your thoughts for the early quaddie. The first of these is race number 1 on the program, a restricted win final over the 595 metres. I'm pretty sure you're keen on one here.
Yeah, Fernando Duke appears to be the fastest dog in the race, and he should find the rail first, and he's generally a tough dog to run down when he does find the arm. So with the map positive, the quality advantage, I just think he's going to be winning, so I'll be taking him one out to start the quaddie in the second leg. I believe it's an open race where 2 of the best dogs are resuming off long spells. I've got Minister Mentor on top, but there's not much between all of 1, 4, 8 and 7. Into the third leg, Lakeview Emily's best is capable of doing a number in this field, but she generally needs to lead to be able to do that. So not certain she will, so going to take some security. 3, 1, 5 and 6. And then rounding out in the last leg, it's the most open race of the night, and the selections we saved in the first leg by going one out, Fernando Duke will use here. I've got Zelda Chaos on top, but I'm going to take the field. So recap for the early quaddie, standing out 2 in the first leg. In the second leg, 1, 4, 8 and 7. In the third leg, 3, 1, 5 and 6, and taking the field to come home in leg 4.
Very nice. So we move on to the major quaddie there this evening. First leg is one of these launching pad heats over the 515 metres, and one of our favourites, Ethanol Water, goes around here. How are we playing the first leg?
Yeah, it's a tale of 2 dogs, I think, in the first leg of the quaddie, and as you just touched on, Ethanol Water may just be my favourite dog in work. And she's likely to have a big say throughout the entirety of the launching pad series, I think. She's been enormous in her past 2 starts, so she goes on top for me from Mr. Easy, who will lead for a long way from box 2, and we'll be hoping that Ethanol Water gets held up in traffic, but if she does get a clear crack at them, she will be winning, so taking 6 from 2 to kick off the quaddie.
All right, on to the second leg, race number 6, another of the launching pad heats. And Lone Rooster fronts up as a $2.20 favourite on the fixed odds with Tab Touch.
Now, I've got a feeling that Paying Dividends will give a really good account of herself in the second leg here. Look, she's new to the States, and it's her first one over the trip, which are pretty big things to take a risk on, but the 395-metre form at Albion Park is really impressive. She jumps well. She really finds her line strongly, and the market suggests I'm heading in the right direction too. I've got her marked down at 440, and she opened at 12 on Tab Touch. Is into 6 now, so I think there's a few of us thinking the same area. Look, I am going to take the field in the quaddie because I think it is terribly open, but a bit of a watch on Paying Dividends. I think she'll run well.
All right, so the old FD there in the second leg. We're hoping for some value. On to the third leg. Another of the launching pad heats over the 515 metres. Can you all class our even money favourite, the former West Aussie Peaky Boo, on the second line at $3.40?
Yeah, look, Can You All Class picks himself on talent and will to win alone. He's hardly reliable at box rise, but a more tenacious chaser you will not find. He boasts unrivaled speed once he balances up. Look, I don't think the likely leaders in this event will be strong enough to hold on, so I think Can You All Class and Peaky Boo will be right there at the finish, and going to take the 5 as well, so 7, 1 and 5.
7, 1 and 5 Container, the third of those picks, double figure odds there, $11 for Matty Lanigan. And the third of the final of the leagues tonight there for the major quaddie, another of the launching pad heats over the 515 metres. Very open affair. Zipping Hopkins, our current favourite on the fixed odds with tab touch at $3.80.
Yeah, Bun Storm is racing in great fashion, I reckon, and she will work hard for all of the race, all 515 metres. She's the type of greyhound you want on your side in a quaddie because she won't throw in the towel. I do note that Zipping Hopkins has had a recent kennel change across to Brooke Ennis, and my word, his box manners have sharpened up big time. He'll be going well in this race as well. Going to take 6, 2, 1 and 3 to round up the quaddie.
6, 2, 1 and 3. And recap that main quaddie: 6 and 2, leg 1, field, leg 2, 7, 1, 5, leg 3. Home was 6, 2, 1 and 3. Better bets on the program tonight, Ethan?
Just a singular for me, race 1, number 2, Fernando Duke. He's got a great map, should be able to find the rail in the lead early, and he looks terribly hard to get past, so we'll make him our solitary best bet.
Beautifully done. A race 1, number 2, looking to get it early tonight there, Ethan Christian, and you will, of course, hear this fine young man joining us tomorrow afternoon on the Mail Collection, where we'll have a look at all of our thoughts for a big weekend of chasing coming up, of course, highlighted by the Group 1 Perth Cup and Galaxy. We'll get Ethan's thoughts on the East Coast Raiders that are going around in the big feature finals there, as well as his always on-point thoughts for the Meadows on Saturday night. Appreciate your time, Ethan. Have a wonderful Thursday night. Enjoy the launching pad action there tonight, and I'll look forward to our chat tomorrow.
Always a pleasure, mate. Catch up tomorrow.
There we have it. Ethan Christian with us here on a Great Greys, where it's now 25 minutes to 11 o'clock. Our next race for a broadcast here on TAB Radio will indeed be race number 2 at Wyong. It comes up at 10 minutes to the hour. Panic, our $2.05 favourite, out from $1.90 on the fixed odds with a tab touch. Reggie's Boy, $3.30 to $3.70. Movement for Wealthy Investor, 10 as big as 12, now $5.50. Treasurer, 13 as big as 15, now $8.50. Denisitsu is $7.50 to $14. Manconi, 23 to 19. Impact Star, 23 to 26. Beatson, 26 to 41. And Lord Bob, $41 out to 51, now back into $41, $2.05 at the head of the market. Panic, but good support for Wealthy Investor, 10 to $5.50. Treasurer, $13 into $8.50. This is TAB Radio, 24 minutes away from 11 o'clock. Let's see if we can't cross the border and catch up with our great mate Sean Matheson to have a look at all things South Australian chasing over the next few days. Welcome to you, Sean. Great to have your company as always. How's everything going across there in SA?
Yeah, hi David. Yeah, great to be on the show again. Going really well in SA. We obviously had that bit of spate of hot weather over the weekend just gone, but we were able to manage our meetings as best we could. Unfortunately, we lost one of the meetings on Sunday night at Gawler, but all in all, not too bad. We moved the heat to the Murray Bridge Cup, which were going to be on Monday night, to Tuesday night, and we had a straight track and a one-turn meeting at the same venue on the same day, which was a first for anyone. So a bit of movement, but all heading towards a wonderful Group 3 final on Sunday night at Murray Bridge. But before we get there, we've got a decent program of racing tonight at Angle Park.
We certainly have, and also at the end, I'll get your thoughts. Of course, great to have. We touched on this going back a couple of weeks ago. A bit of South Australian representation aiming up towards our featured Group 1 Galaxy out there at Cannington on a Saturday night. And Zipping Neutron won the heat last week, goes through to the final as one of the chances in the Group 1 feature. We'll get Sean's thoughts before we bid him a farewell on this Thursday. But before that, we'll rip into your major plays for tonight there at Angle Park. Who should we be having a bet on this evening out there at headquarters in SA?
Okay, so the first of our best bets will come up in the first race. It's a tough program of racing tonight, but in race 1, I do like number 4, Reality Infrared for Kia Hurley. This greyhound returned to racing after about 6 weeks off last week, ran 6 behind Like Wildfire, ran an okay time, but was able to find a forward position early, but then lost his position mid-race and then had to sort of work around them late in the race and got home pretty well to run 6th. Just think with a vacant box on his outside, he'll be able to race handy and should be able to hold his position through those early stages. So should be able to get a chance to run home quite well at the end of the race. He's quoted at $6. I think you just want to see him up, maybe sitting, second or third, just up and around the speed. And he can certainly improve on what he showed last week. So at the $6, David, I reckon that's not a bad one to kick us off with.
Okay, at the nice price to get the night off to a flyer with race 1, number 4, Reality Infrared, the second of your major picks tonight there at Angle Park.
The second of them comes up in race 5, and it's number 7, Ethanol Tank. Now, last week we tipped Woodside Johnny on the show and got the money for the listeners, but Ethanol Tank ran a really good second behind Woodside Johnny last week, only beaten a length. His own personal time was 30.82, handled a wide draw really well. And the start before that, he showed his capabilities by winning in 31.12, but it was his mid-race acceleration that was impressive. So I think tonight he'll be one of the favourites around the $2.60 mark, $2.80. But I think he should be able to get up on speed, show that mid-race acceleration, and actually be too strong for this lineup this week. So he'd be the second of our plays.
All right, and the final play tonight there at Angle Park?
Final play actually comes up in our feature race on the program, which is race 8, and it's number 6, Unholy Rain. Heats of these races were run last week, and so she won her heat in 30.89. That was her first run back for about a month. She had a month off, came back to racing, good performance. We know with her, she's got a brilliant early pace. So expect her to show that second up, hopefully run to the front, and she's such a hard dog to get past. She's around that $2.25 mark in what is a really, really nice race with a lot of speed. I actually think she'll just have too much speed for her competition, find the front, and she'll just be too hard to catch, I think.
Okay, so in recap tonight there at Angle Park, race 1, number 4, Reality Infrared at the nice each-way quote, race 5, number 7, Ethanol Tank, and race 8, number 6, Unholy Rain to take out the feature. Also got chasing over the next little bit, of course, Gawler on a Friday. We've got the time-graded meeting on Saturday morning at Angle Park and the big one at Murray Bridge on Sunday.
Yeah, so one for the listeners at each of the venues. So Gawler tomorrow in the afternoon. Race 10, number 4, Zipping Shakira. Jason Newman from Mount Gambier is making the long trip up to Gawler with a big, strong team, and I think this is the best of his team. She was a really good run in being placed at Angle Park on Thursday night. While she wouldn't have seen the track, she should be too strong for this opposition tomorrow at Gawler. The time-graded meet at Angle Park on Saturday morning. Again, a tough program of racing. I like race 9, number 8, Mac Frenzy. It's only a field of 5. A lot of these dogs haven't really ran over the 500-metre journey before, and Mac Frenzy has done it and has had minimal success. He can handle a wide draw, and really the opposition's not very strong. So he should be getting home the best of the lot there on Saturday. And David, whilst the fields haven't been released yet for a huge program of racing at Murray Bridge on Sunday night, the feature race will be the Murray Bridge Cup at Group 3 level. It'll be race 8 on the program. And I like number 4, Divine Nature there for Matt Lanigan. A nice heat winner, but there was a lot of nice heat winners, and there's form all through this final. When the listeners see the fields come out, it's such a strong race. But I think Divine Nature, middle draw shouldn't worry it, should get up on speed, if not lead, and hopefully get the win on Sunday night.
Race 8, number 4, Divine Nature. Gawler, race 10, number 4, Zipping Shakira. And Sean, if I could just get you to repeat the Angle Park Saturday tip.
Yeah, so that was race 9, number 8, Mac Frenzy.
Mac Frenzy there on a Saturday morning for the early birds on a Saturday. And before we bid you a farewell, no doubt plenty of eyes from across there in SA will be tuned into our big Group 1 Galaxy final on Saturday night. Zipping Neutron, impressive in the heat and comes up with box 5 in the final.
Oh, most definitely, David. And just a credit to you guys over in WA. What a wonderful program of racing you've got. Highlighted by your 2 Group 1 features. And the Galaxy, as you mentioned, will definitely be tuned into that. Zipping Neutron, definitely improved from his start in the Prelude, where he didn't have much luck, began much better, was able to race up near the speed around third, and then was just a bit too strong. His sort of class prevailed, if you like, over the concluding stages in a really nice performance. Middle draw shouldn't worry him. Hopefully he shows a little bit more speed than last week and he races up on speed, and he's such a professional chaser for Tim Aloisi, and obviously Crystal Shinner's in charge of the dog for Saturday night. If he's up running, third or fourth mid-race, he'll be really, really hard to hold out. So we wish them all the best. We obviously wish everyone the best of luck in Group 1 features, but all eyes will be on there for South Australia, and he'll be a big player, no doubt.
Indeed. Great to see South Australian representation in our big Group 1 final out there at Cannington on Saturday night. Sean, thank you for taking some time out of your day to join us this morning here on Great Greys. All the very best for this excellent program tonight at Angle Park, as well as the remainder of the weekend of chasing there in SA.
Excellent, David. We'll talk next week.
There we have it. Sean Matheson, of course, with all of the latest when it comes to South Australian chasing. Next race for broadcast here on TAB Radio, some 6 minutes away. Race number 2 of the day at Wyong. A quick look at the fixed odds market with Tab Touch Panic, $1.90 out to even money. Reggie's Boy, $3.30 to $4.20. Wealthy Investor, 10 into $4.60. Treasurer, 13 into $9. Manconi's been 23 to 19. Denisetsu has been $7.50 to $19. Impact Star 23 to 26. Beatson 26 to 41, and Lord Bob 41 and firm. That is race number 2, just under 5 minutes away there at Wyong. Speaking of Wyong and New South Wales, there's been a stack of outstanding greyhound racing in New South Wales in recent times. And a man who came and visited WA over the weekend now joins us here on Great Greys in Simon Orchard. Welcome to you, Simon. How was your time in the West?
Yeah, g'day, Shorty. G'day, listeners. It was fantastic, mate. Spent a bit of time down at the Tradewinds Hotel and had a wonderful couple of hours down there at the wedding of a good friend that went long into the night, danced away, and was lucky enough to catch a couple of the semi-finals of the Country Classic while I was at it, mate, which is some great racing. Of course, all roads leading to Dubbo this Saturday night for the $125,000 race. But, yeah, I do miss Perth. Shorty, I'll tell you what I forgot. It's very dry heat over there compared to New South Wales.
You're spot on. It's been I can tell you haven't missed much this summer. It has been hot, and a dry heat right the way through. So, yeah, not quite the humidity that you've probably become accustomed to there in New South Wales of late, but warm, and hopefully that meant at an occasion like that, very important to stay well lubricated and have plenty of the sponsors' product on a warm day like that.
Yeah, plenty of Sherbies went down, barely touched the sides for the first couple of hours, I tell you what. But it was a great trip. Always good to see good friends enjoy themselves and have a good day at their wedding. I'll tell you what, though, mate, I did have one minor inconvenience. I ran over my own phone.
No!
Out of the pocket at a nice little cafe there up at Cott and accidentally ran it over. So, it wasn't all great things.
A significant setback. Did that mean you're speaking to us on a new one?
Yeah, I've been into the, I'm not going to drop the sponsor plug on the show, but I've been into one of the telecommunications experts in the last 24 hours, and they've hooked me up with a brand spanker, which will hopefully help us do some good content over here in New South Wales. We're shooting on probably a bit of an older phone, so hopefully some better videos to come out of our content team in the next couple of months at least.
There's always some upside, regardless of what goes on in this great life. Let's see if we can't help the listeners find a winner or two there in your backyard over the next few days. Simon, where are we aiming up?
So we're going to get a couple today, Shorty, with any luck. Gunnedah race 6, number 2, Happy Buddha. You look at the times, there's a dog in box 1 who's run 1971, a dog in box 5 that's run 1950. Happy Buddha hasn't cracked the 22nd mark. I just have a feeling those other two dogs are racing a bit below their best, and Final Countdown in box 5. It's going to be the hardest to beat, but the squeeze makes it a little bit difficult. So Happy Buddha, happy to be in his corner, race 6, number 2, the best bet at Gunnedah this afternoon. If you want to play Dapto tonight, you probably lost the price, I reckon, but race 3, number 1, Spiral Flame was superb last week. 29.86 is a pretty good effort for a dog just in its ninth start, still a fifth grader, and I think if it repeats that or gets anywhere near it, 29.86 will win that race tonight. So race 3, number 1, Spiral Flame, probably one for the multiples if you're having a multi-bet today or over the next couple of days. If you want to play Wenty Park tomorrow night, race 6, number 6, Nengar Gypsy is the tip from Dennis Barnes. I spoke to him a little bit earlier on. He really liked Nengar Gypsy's chances there. You don't have to be Einstein to work out that she's probably the best dog in the race. Box 6 obviously makes it a little bit harder, but I still think Nengar Gypsy can run really well. So race 6, number 6, the best bet at Wenty Park on a Friday. And then we head to Saturday, bumper cards. We'll be covering it on the dogs.com.au, both Wenty Park and Dubbo, where the Country Classic is going off. As for Wenty Park, only 10 races, but I think race 3, number 4, History's Coming, is a dog who's going to make his presence felt during the Easter Egg Series. We know he won that National Derby, almost 2 months ago now, but I think he's still a dog who's just scratching the surface of what he's capable of. He's only had 14 career starts. He comes out of that really hot Samora Cup race behind Nangar Jim, and I think Tommy Rees is going to have him absolutely humming ahead of the Golden Easter Egg. So race 3, number 4, History's Coming, the best on the card at Wenty Park. And then we'll dive into the Country Classic, Shorty. As I mentioned, 125 grand to the winner. Interestingly, Box 1 has won both of the races in the last 2 years. So Zipping Curios jumped from the Cherry, and then Showman Jack did the exact same thing. Big Thunder goes from the 1 in this race. I'm going to go around Big Thunder, although it's a really good story for Helen and John Rowlands. I think Nangar Rocket's the dog to beat, but gee whiz, I'm a little bit conscious of how he's been jumping. Nailed it in the semi-finals. I don't know if you saw the heat run at the Garden, Shorty, but ended up 10 lengths last. The last start in Queensland at the end of last year, he fell on his nose basically and was 50 metres behind within the blinking of an eye, and he had another mishap at Casino about 5 back. So look, I backed Solcombe in the Melbourne Cup. It's got a little bit of Solcombe about him. If he jumps, then I think he's the dog to beat, and if he doesn't, then you might as well throw your ticket in the bin. So for me, it's Nangar Rocket, but the saver is Aglan Luai, the second fastest qualifier for Jay Off the Tail, jumping from Box 2. He's one of the rising stars of our sport. He said a couple of weeks ago that Aglan Luai only goes at 2 tracks, Dubbo and Wenty Park, and last week was a great insight into just how well this dog can go, especially when he jumps well. So the tip is Nangar Rocket, race 8, number 4, but the saver at about $8 and I think $2.10 the place is Aglan Luai, who I think is just going to get a nice run from Box 2. So plenty to do over the next couple of days. As I said, we've got that special coverage on the dogs.com.au. Myself, Timmy Newbold, Mick Cowley will be out at the track, and of course we'll have plenty of action from Saturday night. So looking forward to that, my friend.
Sounds absolutely spectacular. Of course, our great mate Timmy Newbold. Pass on our best to Timmy as well, one of our favourites here in the West. The Battler, as he was known many years ago, he's anything but that these days. Absolutely airborne, one of the great broadcasters of years gone by, and now doing a wonderful job in the world of administration. So looking forward to getting his thoughts aiming up towards that big program there on Saturday night at Dubbo for the Country Classic. Simon, as always, tremendous having your company. We appreciate your time, and great news coming in loud and clear with that new phone. So that's tremendous news.
Yeah, have a great weekend, punters. If you're having a bet, best of luck. I'll talk to you next week, Shorty.
Good man, Simon. Simon Orchard joining us here on a great GREYS, where it's now 9 minutes away from 11 o'clock. Matty, we will zoom back
on the first.
This is Great GREYS on Tab Radio. Go, you good thing.
One man that's found us plenty of good things over the journey, the Shane Train Williams, now joins us here on this Thursday morning. Welcome to you, Train.
Yeah, good morning, Shorty. Good morning, listeners. I've just released myself from Fiona Stanley Hospital, Shorty, after being in the burns department after Sunset Tyson got us good last week.
Indeed, yeah. I don't think I've ever heard you more confident. Came on to the program and had a really good crack, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. The great thing about this Capo Train is it's on again this Saturday night. It's on again this evening out there at Mandurah. Plenty of opportunities to fight your way back into the contest. 2.5 minutes until the second of the day here at Bow Desert, punters. Let's get your thoughts for chasing here in the West over the next few nights. Train tonight there at Mandurah. Do you like the program?
Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky program, Shorty, but what's the old saying, Shorty? I get knocked down, but I get up again. We'll go by that one this week. Mandurah tonight, Shorty, race 10, number 8, Hello Dave. Just a dog that's well drawn out wide. Does like the loop runners there, down in grade, hard to beat. And then we'll go over to race 12, number 1. Each way this one, Shorty, Luke's Cole's been drawing horrible. Been behind the boxes when this dog's raced previously, and does like to cut hard to the fence. If you have a look at his recent box draws, they've been terrible. So think he might grow a leg off the one. He's about $9, so happy to play him each way, Shorty. So 10, 8 and 12, 1 tonight.
All right, off to Mandurah again this time for Friday night chasing.
Yeah, Mandurah Friday, race 3, number 8, Butter Me Up. He's not a winning machine, Shorty. Only won 1 from 16, but 2 runs back, I really liked his run. Up to the 488, Rod Noden having a good run with his dog. So we'll go Butter Me Up, race 3, number 8. And then we'll go over to race 10, number 4. Mignon and dog trained by Adam Smithson. It's a big enigmatic, this dog, but if he gets the start right, Shorty, he'll be very hard to beat. I think the vacant boxes around him will help, and we need him to get out in front, and you watch him steer wide at the home corner, but he should be that far in front, it shouldn't matter. So 3, 8 and 10, 4 on Friday.
All right, on to the big night out there at Cannington Saturday night, Group 1 Galaxy and Perth Cup night. Who are your key plays?
Yeah, a couple of cherry bombers for me. Perth Cup night's an outstanding card. Race 6, number 1, Bungee Man. I think a dog, he's been drawing very ordinary and stronger fields than this. He gets the cherry, and I think he can bounce back to the winners list there for the Crowley camp. So race 6, number 1, Bungee Man. And then the very last race, Shorty, Kenya Kraken. Very impressive 2 back, beating Sunset Nitro when we all tipped him. Paul Stewart's team starting to fire up again. He's got a winner last night, and I think he's got a couple of nice pups coming through. So very hard to beat. Yeah, 6, 1 and 12, 1 on Saturday.
All right, who's the best from the kennel?
Yeah, I think I'm going to struggle this week, Shorty, and Kennel Mail's been pretty ordinary, but I think the best dog in my team this weekend is Stevie Manelli. She's in the consolation of the Galaxy, race 8, number 8. She's well boxed wide, and if you watched her run last week, she got stood on her head at the first corner. She's made up plenty of ground. I thought her run was outstanding, so a little bit hidden there as well. So race 8, number 8 on Saturday, Stevie Manelli in the Galaxy consolation.
Beautifully done, Train. Appreciate your time as always. We've got a dash to Bow Desert, race number 2. We'll catch you next week.
See you, mate.
You're listening to Great Greys on Tab Radio.
And speaking of making it sweet, I'll make this short and sweet to round out the program today. 3 that I like tonight at Mandurah. Race 5, number 2, Tick, 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 loves an inside draw. This dog will be rattling home in the back half of the race. Should be too strong late. And then the last couple of races, race 11, number 6, Edith Hook. This greyhound's really starting to get the hang of things. Last 2 wins have been elite. I think it can overcome that wide draw with the beginnings that it's shown at its last 2. And in the last race, 12, number 5, Steel Girl. Pretty talented type on debut here in WA for trainer Sean Kavanagh. Has done good things on the East Coast, and I think it'll be winning here tonight. So in recap, race 5, number 2, race 11, number 6, and race 12, number 5. That's Great Greys done and dusted for this Thursday. Thanks as always for your company. Matty, you've been outstanding as always in the TAB radio studios. Good luck, punters. You'll hear from me again tomorrow morning, 6:30 on the Sports Daily, and then we're into chasing winners between 9 and 10 right here on TAB radio.